family. You know? And it's all about the kids. Let's start the game over. Back to the way things were. It's all about the kids. So put your family first. Let's start the game over.
Good afternoon and welcome to the award-winning Put Your Family First podcast. I am one of the hostess with the mostest, Dr. Calvin T. Man. I'm glad to be in the building today. Also, there's two other people in here. I forget their names sometime, but charge it to the over 50 brain. It happens. So again, today we're going to get into a subject that is near and dear to my bloodline.
Let's hope it works with your blood flow.
Here we go.
Here we go. My bloodline. Well, alrighty.
Right. So just to be clear, it's the holidays, and honestly, we are seeing a lot of people, like 1 in 3 30-year-olds are not having sex. 53% of black men don't have children. Relationships are in a disarray. Men and women can't come together. The conversation is crazy, and we are all over the place when it comes to love and things like that. But today we're going to talk about how to have more sex during the holidays, because it's important. In my term, from a male perspective, it's important. Of course, I'm going to be biased, right? Then my perspective, right, it's an important conversation, right? And because the holidays, you know that they find men in the home by themselves, deceased, can be deceased for a week, 2 weeks. They find, relationships that they catching old couples at the senior complex getting it in. You got the old men knocking off the young CNAs. I mean, like, you got a lot of things going on, but we don't have
The CNAs.
yeah,
He on the road.
right. But what we don't have is healthy relationships, and that is a problem. And so while we get into this conversation about having more sex during the holidays, Dr. Heather, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for pairing that with my name.
Dr. Dave?
I'm doing well. All this blood flow, we should be pumped up.
Literally.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
It's funny. It's funny how sex do make you immature sometimes, right? The conversation, right? The conversation does turn you into a kid sometimes. Like, you talk about sex and they be like, woo, wee, right? You turn into the Geico pig.
I gotta say that, just like what's her name? Sherry, the lady got the show. Sherry
Shepherd.
Yeah, she had Vivica Fosso. And so she said, well, how long is a breakup supposed to last? 20 years? And she said, but I have to say something for my girl, Vivica. She said, well, she think about that time. She go, woo. She be walking down the street, woo. She be eating her soup, woo. It get good to her.
Yeah. We forget,
Make you get a little giddy.
we forget that, these things are really an essential part of relationships, right? So we forget that. And I just wanted to really have the conversation because it's a conversation that's healthy. And sometimes it might be the only conversation that some people have because that's all that they have in their code, right? Which is, this is a heightened part of their DNA code. So we're going to have this conversation. But the truth of the matter is, relationships are in a shamble. Women are not having sex. Men are not having sex. And because of all of the ways that people try to have sex, the irresponsibility of sex has also proven to be a bad thing for the culture. But today, like I said, we're going to get into how to have more sex during the holidays. And I'm going to go on the limb and say,
Here we go.
never forget that your cousins have an upstairs bathroom. We can start there. We can start there. That's one of the areas that you can start at, that your cousins meet me in the bathroom. That's always a good one, right?
See, that's the thing about the topic.
I'm warming up the car.
I know. It made me think about Johnny Witherspoon and that lady coming out the bathroom.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
Boomerang, right? I'm coming out the bathroom.
Cookie.
Right. Right. I'm coming out the bathroom. And truthfully, right? Truthfully, it's a great conversation. It makes you feel good. That's what sex is supposed to do. And a lot of times there are a lot of mummies out there. They're unalive. You know what I mean? Like you just not getting none. You know what I mean? And I get it, right?
He said mummies.
Yeah. We me and Dave, we talk about this. We ain't had that problem, right? The lack was not in my skill set, right? So, and I think a lot of people forget that, and this is to the big fellas out there. Just because you big don't make you can't get you a woman. If you walk around here doubting yourself, that's on you. I don't know nothing about that. But when it gets to the point that your prostate is backed up, is that bad? I mean, we talk a good game, but your prostate is you're not getting loose enough, and your prostate is under siege. That's an issue. I know that's not the only reason, but that's one. I like to lean on that one a little more because it's sex, right? So, I like to pull that one out. Baby, we've been together, and they say 21 days out of 30 is what's happening, right? And that's important for a man, that 21 days he has to. Am I making this a biased conversation so far? I think so, right?
You'll have a minute.
Oh, you got a minute.
You got a minute.
I hope it lasts longer than that.
For real. For real. The porn stars say 15 minutes. That's all they really will. Unless they not on set, they really don't want to go beyond 15 minutes. So this is a little research that you might not be privy to, but I'm sharing it. I don't watch porn often, right? But
just watch the talk shows.
Yeah, I've been checking out
the research.
He just looking at the articles.
Yeah. Yeah, be that as it may. I do keep my hands to myself, though, right?
There you go. So happy together.
But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
seriously, it's important, right? It's the holidays, and you should be festival, right? And so don't let gifts be the thing that prevents you. You should be more festival, right?
Festival?
Yeah, you got to get that boy up, right? Be festival with the coochie. You know what I mean? Right. Put it in the package. You know what I mean? Tuck it under the tree.
Come to the door and say, I knew what you want, but I didn't know how to wrap it.
Right. Right. Tuck it under the tree. And so again, a lot of people, they forget about that. Right? They like, you know what? I'm tired. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, right? I go to sleep, wake up. You know what I mean? I just think that's part of the deal. But back to what the porn star lady said, right? Since I'm in charge so far, right? The porn lady said, if you don't wake me up, I'm putting you out my bed. That was on the talk show. She said, you don't wake me up in the middle of the night and ain't doing something to me, I'm putting you out. She said, because I like it just as much as he like it.
Right.
So anyway, Doctor, what was the old lady that used to have all the sex conversations? Not Dr. Ruth, was it?
Yes, it was Dr. Ruth.
Or
Dr. Ruth.
Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, she used to get it in a lot. She talked about it a lot. She lived to be 90, so she did a lot. Dr. Oz, I don't know. He don't look too much like a wizard. He done aged tremendously, messing around with Trump though.
I know.
His whole head white. He came in the door with a black head, and now he had full pus.
Oh my gosh.
So yes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're gonna take you down in a minute.
no, go ahead, do your thing, Heather. This is how to have more sex.
Yeah, I have one question though. Do you feel like it is harder during the holiday season to kind of factor that in because you got the stress of family, gifts, making time when it's already not seeming like enough time is in a day? Is that something that is first to fall by the wayside?
It's your sex,
Yes.
your sex life. You definitely have to be intentional. You definitely have to be present, and you definitely have to make sure that your sense of time and timing is on is on cue.
Yeah.
For sure. And then the other thing is that often people who are stressed, for one, but when you are not feeling supported or you feeling overwhelmed, it is harder to get in that space. At least for women, it typically is that way. I don't think men have as much of an issue. They can have sex whether they're mad or glad. But women sometimes, when you're feeling overwhelmed, it is because it affects your hormones.
Yeah.
It affects the chemical, your biochemistry, and it is a downer. When you feel unsupported or you feel unattractive, it's a downer. And so that has a impact on your ability to even want to. Now, when you feel like, okay, I'm not getting any help, you don't have my back. The kids are saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, and you're saying no, and dad is like, oh well, maybe, and you're having all these conflicting responsibilities. It is a downer. It is a downer, and it does make it more difficult when you don't feel supported, and that's for a lot of women and for a lot of things, and most importantly around their sex life. It is driven by those good hormones, those good feelings, that sense of being feeling attractive, and not you don't just want all the time want to just get humped on. You want to be caressed and tender and brought into a moment. Where our counterparts, right? It may not take all of
Man,
that.
shut up with all that. You getting humped on.
Don't turn over. No. But you said something that's significant, and that's intentional. There should be effective communication even before you get to that point. And once you have that, I've interviewed quite a few people over 50, and what I learned was the communication was everything. And so if you see, sometimes we only talk about sex when it's sex, when we should be talking about sex, making love, however you want to title it. We should be engaging in those conversations like any other conversation. Where is our head at? What do you think about this? And most of the time we don't have, like we're doing now, we don't have these discussions. It's just almost on autopilot. You're supposed to make it happen. But I think that coming together and having these conversations periodically, honest and open, what you need, what you require. And I started very young, and I had a woman, I was 13 and she was 27. And she told me that every woman is different. So one may want you to rub her feet, one may want you to rub her head. You need to communicate with that. And then you need to allow her to teach you what makes her happy. Because if she's doing right in the beginning, she'll learn her own body and she'll tell you what she needs. So all this is communicating communication is needed in order that if I walk in the door, again, I walk in the door, you might have your rain jacket on and open up and there it is, and it might be quote unquote the quickie, but it does the job, because really sex is about what God designed to be, was the coming together, the uniting, the bonding. Matter of fact, I just read an article where a woman said that we have to, my article in was online. Now I don't do a whole lot online, and she had said that you have to be careful who you're having these relationships with, because spirit is connecting to spirit, and you have to be able to line the right spirits up. So, my thing personally is that we should be able to have it anytime, all the time it comes in our mind. And one should have to have reservation to be able to say, this is what I need. If today she needs to get busy and I may not be feeling it, then I'm going to accommodate her just because she needs it, and vice versa. But we have to communicate that. And then there'll be times where everybody just raw dog, you just coming out and, wow, okay, cool in the game, But all those factors you all brought up, the work schedule, because work schedules are the same. If let's say traditional woman at home, she working, man at work, at the plant or whatever. Everybody's dealing with stress. It's just a different way the stress is placed upon you. But when y'all come together, I think the home should be the place we walk in and we can release that stress. And if that's the part of it, so shall it be. But that's communication. So it's intentional.
Well, who is this woman? She going to jail.
Which one?
You 13, she 27. She going to.
Oh man!
I know that was normal back then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that we were under siege. This is
I
what's
didn't know I
wrong.
was molested because my babysitters, my mom and them had 2 babysitters.
Yeah.
And I didn't. So I see ignorance is something. I said, well, you can't rape the willing. You know what I mean? Right. But I didn't know I was being raped. If you look at it from that perspective, it was. I agreed to it, but I was a child.
And it'll turn us out.
And see, nobody think about it when, now, it's still wrong man on man, but when you got a girl, 16, 17, doing this to an 8, 9-year-old boy, then you don't know that. You just know this feel good, cool in the game. I remember hiding in my mama's closet when they came home from their little partying because this was happening. So the 2 of them, those 2 girls started, and then by the time I was 13, I was riding horses, so I'm hanging with all these adults. It really got amplified.
See what I'm saying? This is what sex do. And so you gotta
ride horses.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, because
well, that come out right there.
right, but I got what the brother was talking about.
You were talking about the animal horse.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right, rodeo. Rodeo. Now let me make it clear.
As we call it.
Bareback bronc. No.
Straight stallion ride.
Right.
But that's the thing, and we look at this thing right from a lens that's crazy. But I want to say and add, right, because what Dave said and what Heather was saying, all of that is true, right? And in your conversation, if you got the right conversation, right, it'll go over that way, right? You care about this, you protect her from that, you say nice things. It's foreplay all day. If you don't have that skill set, right, sometimes you can tuck it away, but you gotta keep it, baby, you look nice. Man, look at that booty. Like, you gotta keep your game on deck, right, in a relationship, in order for it not to be so tough later on.
Right.
And because we swear up and down that we just come one way and this is how it's supposed to be all the time. That's not, like Dave said, that's not the case. But on the other end, relationships are suffering. There are a number of women who have lied. I mean, who have said they're going celibate, right?
I ain't doing nothing.
I ain't doing nothing, right? And they and try to stand by it. But from the profession, even like when I did the workshop on the co-pilot, women got their feet in 5, 6, 7 doors, and so do men. And it's hard for you to get into any type of real relationship if you in 5 different doors.
And it's for different reasons too.
Sure, but you can
Right.
give the excuse all you want to. I'm
No,
saying,
it's no excuse.
Okay.
This is about being an adult.
It can be platonic, and he can be offering something that's not sexual.
okay, however you want to dress it up. Hey, listen, put dressing with the turkey. I'm with you. I'm saying, I'm saying from a completely different perspective. Over here, you just heard my man's story. I didn't even tell my story, right? We coming from a different perspective. So we might be behind door number 2 and 3. Right? So yeah, you got your foot in that door, but you're gonna end up putting that body in that door, right? In door 2 or 3. You don't get to just put your foot in the door. And we know this. And so a lot of times part of the problem with relationships is the lies.
The lie.
Manipulation.
Yeah,
It is a form
it's
of
the lies.
manipulation.
If I love you, I'm carry you, I'm coming, I'm taking you, go date the whole 9. But yet, as soon as we get through eating, you going to get a booty today. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Because Dave is not willing to do. This is why your doors is so occupied.
Hold on, though.
Yes. Come on.
Dave may be fulfilling another.
Again, that's another door. Behind door
It's
number
not
2.
another door.
Oh, it's a door.
It's just another.
It's a door.
It's another door.
It's another piece of furniture in the
No, it's a
It's
door.
a door because when you walk in that door, you don't necessarily, you might start off with what looks like just the living room. But before the party's over, you in the bedroom and you say, "How I got here?" Well, if as Calvin always say, you got your feet and your shoes under different beds for different reasons. Because sex is not 24 hours. But if you dib and dab in these doors long enough, when you find yourself consistently being familiar with somebody, you can't control people's feelings. You can't control people's urges. That's why he said once you attach to your woman and your man, that should be a wrap. Because there are too many variables that come in any relationship that could break that relationship down. So Joe over here now that you said, well, it's platonic right now. You done seen too. I always say, you have to believe what I'm saying. Watch your movies. Watch your soap operas.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just Bob. He my friend.
Yeah.
And then that Bob is all in.
Yeah.
Now what happened? How that happened?
All right.
Because he was in there. And I'm gonna close on this is that I find this to be biases because most of the time we look at men. I said this as a kid because I knew what was out there. We say that men are always out here cheating. They always doing their thing. Now before we got the alphabets as publicly known, I used to say most men ain't sleeping with men. They sleeping with women. So if they sleep with women, you can't blame just the man for the activity that he engaging in because she has to be the willing participant. Because if she's not willing, it's rape. So therefore, she's engaging, she's offering, and he's fulfilling.
And that's who getting your turkey and your drumstick.
So we have to be reasonable. That again, that's why I go. It's not just a gender issue because if we be honest, most men are not sleeping with men. They sleep with women, and she has to approve. My mother says a man place to ask, a woman place to make a decision. She makes the decision, and she engages it. But when we talk about it, men always cheating. Men always. You rarely hear that line coming out of women's mouth. Women always cheating. Women always cheating. Who he cheating with? Or who he hanging with? Or who his boots is bed is under?
He in door number 3.
That's right. And 4 and 5 and 6.
And
Save
so-
us, Miss Heather, save us.
What's he saying?
Save us.
it is a real part of this journey of becoming a woman and trying to connect with your ideal mate. And as you're dating, part of that is finding out what you like, what you don't like, what you're attracted to. And so I want to say 2 things in this space that we're in right now. One is one of the reasons why you date multiple people is to figure out what you like and what you don't like, and if they have enough of the traits to settle down with this person. When you find that they don't, then you have other options. And so from those options, it looks like other doors, because you may enjoy somebody. They may have a great sense of humor and make you laugh or make you feel good about yourself. And when you need that particular thing, that's when you call this particular
You're
person.
just proving my point, but keep going.
But all of it's not sexual.
Right.
That's correct.
But
Come
what-
on.
And that's true.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you, how come
It
it
might
can't
not
be that
be.
way for the man? How come that we get
Because I don't
asked?
think like
See,
that.
see, there's
Y'all think
that
with that
you
and
thinking
not that.
that's that Steve Harvey stuff, right? You know, see, but that's when you talk to the majority of men, and I say, you know, the Army was a majority men, so I listen to their stories. There's one thing that we portray in the public, and there's another thing behind the scenes.
Right, for sure.
And when we have these discussions, they have some of the similar desires and wants and needs that women have, but it's not discussed the same way. So, and if we're saying that women should be able to have 5 friends and it's not sexual, okay, it's like, well, we can say women are honest, so therefore they're not falling short.
Yeah.
But if I'm laying up with Betty, Shirley, and blah, 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 and they tell me, now I know this, and I'm not trying to be, they tell me, I got a man, I got a husband. I was like, oh, okay, so where's your value system? So that makes me reluctant to say, this can't be true, what they're saying, that women are faithful, because I'm laying up with Betty. She calling Bob right now.
That's the
Or
very-
I'll be home in a minute. You know, come on now.
But that's the very lie, right? So during the holidays right now, it's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
All them gifts coming in.
What? What? Behind door number 5
So-
is Bob the plumber, right? And so Bob has gifts.
I know.
But you see it all the time on the internet. What? Bob is going to pay the phone bill,
You know.
right?
I know.
Then Jerry is going to pay the cable, and James might be paying the house note.
And that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
But
There
each
are
one
ti-
of them
there
are.
are times when that is true.
You're only
That
speaking.
is not-
Stop protecting
that is not
your
the-
history.
That is
That
not
you're
the
only
whole
speaking
case.
from.
There are women who take care of their own finances, and that is not the reason why they have a man.
Okay,
But
go
that's-
ahead.
that's
Do
an
that.
easy
Right.
statement.
Part
Right.
of the
Go ahead.
desire.
Yeah,
Part of the desire is to be fulfilled in new ways.
That's what's up.
But let me say this, because this is the second part that I wanted to mention before. One of the challenges that women are experiencing as you becoming more liberated and more into your own sexuality is having a relationship with yourself. A lot of women were raised that men were supposed to know everything about your body and how to have sex with you.
Okay.
And a lot of men were taught between pornography and the early starts, as you guys know, that then this cycle is continuous. So men are expecting women to act as if they're porno stars, and women are thinking that they're supposed to act as porno stars, and especially our young women who have no clue about their body.
Yeah.
They just know that. I mean, you can hear this in middle school and elementary school girls talking about oral sex. Because they have gotten this message that I can get a boyfriend or I can keep a man if I do this or
Well,
if I
they're
perform these
liberated.
acts.
They're liberated.
I-
That's the word
No.
you just used.
No,
So
no.
they're liberated.
No,
And
no,
you mean
no,
to tell
no.
me they
No,
wasn't
no,
giving
no.
head in middle school when we was coming up? Yes.
Really?
They will suck the
Yes,
paint off wall.
Not as
Calvin,
not
Calvin. Understand that your backstory is not every. You and Dave, your backstory is not every guy's story.
That is true.
That is true.
And an experienced female is not every woman's story. The middle ground, which you guys are clearly on higher ground, but the middle ground says and suggests that you're supposed to turn me on. You're supposed to make me have an orgasm. You're supposed to do all of this for me. That's where the majority of the women are, and part of their search is for somebody that can take them there. It's not just, it's not just because you can fulfill this. It is, I want to have this experience
So-
and I need somebody to take me there. And instead of learning more about your own body, your own self-exploration and what you want.
So you saying that all them books, romance books that they was masturbating to didn't help them? you're saying that all the soap opera stories in the room, because women masturbate just as much as men. Y'all will Yankee Doodle Dandy just as much as men.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
going to
And?
use the word liberation as a door. Right? So we're going to say for the liberated ones who understand and know their body. There are a lot of women that don't know their bodies.
I agree.
I agree with you on that. There are a lot of women who have an expectation.
but have a desire to explore, and instead of, because they have become accustomed to not having their own touch, they need a touch of a man to help them to explore.
So explain why the dollar make them wiggle and giggle if they need all of that.
The dollar?
Why?
What are you talking about?
Money. Money. Money is
I
another
don't-
factor, a huge factor
In
in this
what?
conversation.
What's the correlation?
Yeah, you said the middle ground, but I was
saying
just
this
talking
middle
about Bob
round of women.
and James and Jerry, who's paying a bill. You said houses.
I'm saying that is a group of women on this end. Just
Oh,
like there's
okay.
a group of women on this end
Okay.
that don't require a man to finance her.
And the
But
excuse me.
she still
Group of
got
women
Bob
on this
and Jerry.
end. I'm talking about this middle
Right,
section
right.
of
You know
women.
what we're trying to do here for the holidays? Is we're trying to bring everybody out. Get up out them rooms. Understand that we're all sexual beings. Stop fronting. Stop perpetrating. And because stop putting up this fake front, right? Only for we'll put you on a podcast and you can talk about anything.
So let me
Hold
me
on,
just,
we got a caller.
okay.
Caller, go ahead.
I believe that,
I knew my man was coming through.
that women have false expectations before they even lay down,
Yeah,
and
that's what Heather
From
was
that-
saying.
from that perspective, women have so many ways to say that men don't get them there when they do no preparation to get us there.
Yeah,
Okay.
And because y'all think that everything with us is physical, and I'm gonna say for sexual, so it takes more than just the sexual act. Like my mental has to be there as well.
yes, sir.
No, I don't need roses and flowers and stuff, but I need some very good touching. That's not in the physical form like you ravishing me, but I need I need some touching that says that you accentuate me, like you like I admire this pudge or whatever. But women think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go at it, yeah, and we're like, nah.
No, we need words too.
We need words, and we need incentives as
Yeah.
well.
So this
We
is
need
the
it.
middle ground of men. Just like we talked about this end of the women who need and want to be financed. This group of women who want to already finance themselves, and that's not their need. But this group of women in the middle, where there is room for growth, where there is room to learn and hear, but not a lot of men are saying that. Like
So-
you are coming forth and
Call that
saying.
number.
No, I hear that, right? But you just gave me 3 types of women. Can you name me the 3 types of men?
The 3 types of men, the ones that get put in a friend zone because they don't say
Dog,
what
you
they
know
really
she
want.
got the answer, dog.
No, but
but-
I'm listening.
And then it's this middle ground of men that have some level of communication, but it comes out that I only want to be physical, or that's the most important thing to me. That you're asking on the first and the second date, how much sex do you want to have, or do you do this, and can we do this? That, for us women, that's the man in the middle. Then you have the man, I'm going to say, is on higher ground, who says he has these values, who says I want to be married, who says I want this type of woman, and are you that type of woman? There's the man on the high end. I'm just calling it the high end. No offense here, but the high end is a man who knows what he wants. He knows he wants a quality woman woman, and he can say that. And then there's again the men on the low end who don't really know what they want, and they are mostly physical. And it's no conversation about it. It's hump or nothing.
Then it's the Lord.
And then it's this middle ground of men who have a desire to know, get to know. Not that sex isn't important. It is, and they're going to say that. But it becomes important up front versus in the mix of the conversation.
So during
And
the
those are the men
holidays, though. So during the holidays, it's festive.
Potato salad.
Yeah. It's festive. Share. Give us plenty. Don't hold on.
Give me the same
the
piece
gift,
you want
right.
for the Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah.
now you saying now you saying use potato salad and the relish.
That's
Yeah,
right, that's right,
yeah.
that's right.
So during the holiday, your intentions can be a little more relaxed because of and some things. So we have a whole list of things here about ways that make you feel more relaxed around having sex or during this holiday. I need to say this because we did not establish this up front. We are talking about this conversation for consenting adults who are either in relationships or considering moving into a relationship of marriage or in marriage. So we're not just talking about, I mean, we know that there are people in between that never intend to be married, that just want to, copulate. But we are talking about, for the majority of people, we're talking about that middle ground of people trying to communicate what you need and what you want during this holiday season and how you can get that. For responsible adults only, we're having this conversation.
Do it for the culture, dog.
But that's the point. As I said earlier in my intro, was that it's about communication. And so you say the high end, the low end, the middle ground, which is basically the majority of the people. Well, again, go back to the Bible. My people destroy because of lack of knowledge. If we effectively communicate with one another, these things wouldn't be a major issue. But even coming out the gate, most of us are not having this conversation with our children. We're not having the conversation when they're teens. We pretty much just kind of let them get it vicariously through all the other forms of communication that's maybe not lined up to be specific. So we have a wandering kind of mindset, and that doesn't allow us to be as specific as y'all trying to, ladies trying to present in what you need. And so it's natural for us to be primitive, that we're animals too. We just advanced. But it takes for us to be informed in order for us to really be effective and committed. And something that Miles said was really significant. Back to the communication of what he needs. See, when we hear these conversations, even on all these talk shows and everything else, it's about the woman's need. You rarely hear the woman say the man needs this, he needs that. And most of these things are common in both genders. They want to be motivated, encouraged, inspired, respected, valued.
Absolutely.
But if you're not talking about
Dave
that,
for
then it's not a part
president.
of it.
Dave for president.
Yeah, I ain't
Dave
mad
for
at you.
president.
At least I can do better than Trump. So, I messed up. No, but that's important. Is that we all have that. He wants to be rubbed. He driving, he rubbing your back. He done roll 4 hours and you never rub his back.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
you're right, because you got to remember, Dave, certain men get certain things.
Well, that's true too.
That puts us back into those groups, right? I got a conversation. We got conversation for the wet. We know how to talk straight to get you to the drip. There are some people that don't have that conversation, and you have to. This is why right now, this is the biggest problem with 1 in 3 30-year-olds not having sex, is because one, it goes back to my favorite conversation. The father is not teaching. And so if the father's not teaching, the boy and the girl is overexposed, right? Because like you said, we're already going to be primitive. I was humping rocks as a kid, you know what I mean? When my mother and father left, it was
Almost
on.
had a bad joke.
So you was humping.
Yeah,
So
because you
Trying
got
to get rock
Wait a
hard.
minute.
Huh?
But
Wait a
you got to
minute.
understand,
So-
because
so
we,
you-
go ahead.
You humping rocks.
Yeah. So in other words, dry humping, right? Because you got to
Okay.
understand that we all understand that like Dave said, we were primitive, and our DNA plays a part. So
For sure.
if you a freak, your husband a freak, you can guarantee that daughter of
child
yours
will be a freak.
is a freak.
That's right.
So if you don't teach her or teach him, that boy, and you just let him out here, and then be like, well, you know, his dad ain't around. You start
Hold
throwing
on.
these excuses.
Wait a minute. So you saying the daughter be a freak too?
Yeah, man.
I can't call y'all back. I gotta call my daughter.
Yeah, you better. Goodbye. You better call me. Because I'm what?
Right. It is.
These kids, boy.
It is, but they are a reflection of the blueprint.
That's right.
Yeah.
They are a reflection of us, and so again, that's such an important part. I'm so glad you brought that up.
You're welcome, baby.
About the
I
DNA.
try to keep it. Yeah.
About that
I
DNA.
try to keep it 100.
So, so keep in mind too, when you are making choices and decisions about who you are going to be with and your why, you are recording that for your children. It doesn't matter their age, whether they're here or not here yet. You are still recording that for them, and they are picking up on that blueprint. It's going to be picked up. So be mindful about the decisions and choices you make. So I do want us to try to get through a few of these reasons and ways couples can have more sex.
Well, let me
during the holiday.
jump on one, right? With no
Uh-oh.
Vaseline, right? Let me jump on one. Ready?
Which one you got?
The vacation mindset and travel, getting out of the usual environment and routine, even a staycation, can increase a sense of adventure and novelty, which are stimulating for sexual desires. If you're married, and I've said this to a lot of men who are married, right, and a lot of women. The same thing you would do with the side piece, do with the one you got.
That's right. That's right.
Stop playing and call your husband. You got a hotel room. You was gonna do it with the side. Do it with your husband or your wife.
That's right.
Do those things that you want to do with the person that you with, and keep it. No, stop watching All My Children and all them shows, right? That don't give you these necessary. You have been programmed to not be faithful. In your books, your magazines, your movies, they got you set up in the movie where it's okay. We was watching a movie yesterday. It wasn't no murders and no N-words and nothing like that. But the pastor was in love with the couple that he was counseling.
The woman.
And they made that okay in the movie, that they was hitting it off, and then they would get together, and then at the end of the movie, they welcomed them to the church, gave him the pastoral job, the whole nine. But your job was to help this couple get married. And you crossed the parameters because you were single.
But that's why I said, when you look at, you don't have to listen to us. You look at your movies. You look at all these series. I call it as the stomach term, as all my illegitimate children and all these names I have for. Because at the end of the day, they're projecting an image. And we are visual at times, men and women, and we get caught up in these images. And there's subliminal messages.
Absolutely.
That's seeping us, thousands of messages that's seeping into our brain to formulate how we think. And unfortunately, if we don't address these by teaching our children out the gate, because like you say, the genetics play a big thing. Sometimes you have parents who are hypersexual, and it flows right into their children. And if they're not taught how to control, like any other thing that your child is gifted with, if you're not taught to control it, it's going to be out of control. And then you meet someone just like you, and then they turn you out, there's an issue. And now we get mad at the prostitute, we get mad at the stripper, we get mad at the male strippers and all that. We get mad because they shouldn't be doing that. But we never, as Dr. Heather liked to say, the backstory. Do you know their story, how they got there, and how they out of control? Just like we have young men and young women who are turned out to be loving on each other. Because again, what's the backstory?
Right.
So it's so much to this, But again,
Here's another one, 5, and then I'll let you dive in. 5, couple up, season peak, the social phenomenon where people seek to couple up for winter months reaches its peak around holidays, driven by a desire for warmth, comfort, companionship when it's cold outside. When it's actually, damn, Chantel, you okay?
And she was thinking, yeah, I like that.
When it's actually, right? It's actually put in, just like this line is put in the play. And it tells you what to do. And because you see, oh yeah, it's big fella season. It's wintertime. Y'all was out there with all them guys with the. No, I'm hey Dave, I'm year round. I ain't no, I wasn't just for the season guy.
Careful.
Right?
You are married, right?
Yeah. I was a year round. I said I was a year round.
Right. Okay.
Right?
I don't want you to get in trouble with your wife.
What kind of trouble? We can do some good trouble. For the holiday.
Holiday.
So here's my favorite one. This is
Okay.
my favorite one. Number 4, the Hallmark phenomenon. The cultural emphasis on love, togetherness, and family during the holiday, reinforced by romantic movies and traditions, creates a sentimental mood that fosters connection and romance.
Yeah. And I'm still not watching the movie with what's his name running through the field. Tomorrow, Joanne. What is
White
that?
Christmas?
The 24th Street or something. What's the name of that? Your favorite Christmas movie? With the guy that forget who he is and he come back.
Talking about Jimmy Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart.
Oh,
Yeah. I forgot that.
And they watch that movie. I'm like, man.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
Joanne.
It's a wonder-
I know Joanne and It's a Wonderful
Right.
Life.
That tell you that I'm not watching it. I had to come up with a name for it.
I love that movie. You are so correct. I am one that is affected by the Hallmark phenomenon. But it's a time. It almost feels like a time when you can put your defenses down.
Yeah, watch an old movie. You ain't gonna have no defense.
Dave, do you find a good one on this list from 1 to 10? What did you see?
Let me take my glass so I can see it. Yeah. Let me see here. Increase our
Right, Rhea talking about facts. Hello, help us single folks out today. Well, you can get some help. You gotta just know.
Yeah, I like the
skill
novelty,
set.
experimentation, the festive atmosphere, and breaking from routines can inspire couples to be more playful and open to trying new things in the bedroom, which can enhance arousal and excitement. And again, I go back to my intro, is that we have to communicate what moves us. So if I know Calvin he ain't watching a movie, but I bet you if he
he's
said
watching movies.
if he want to get busy,
He's
he's gonna be
watching
busy
movies.
watching that movie, even if he don't care for it. But again, back to being experimental.
Right.
Our people get caught up in routines, and then it
Yes.
creates boredom. I just saw another article where they said boredom comes about because people maintain the same status quo. You have to be creative. You have to be adventurous. You have to. Sometimes you have to take chances.
I saw a sex therapist talk about. Damn, I know a little too much, huh, Dave? Right.
It's good.
Right?
The more you know, the more you show.
I saw a sex therapist talk about this very thing, and she said that her and her husband literally would, just for fun, watch porn and try to do
Right.
the positions that the porn people do, and they would fall out laughing, trying to figure out how they can pull this off. She said that was just one thing that really had her and sparked fun in their relationship, and I say significantly that some of the best things that women can do for men, to make it clear, is really touch.
That's right.
Touch. Everybody wants to be touched. But if you can touch your man, rub your man, and talk to your man, it's the same game. You will get a lot more out of it than if you always see, because this Christmas, it's going to be some complaining shit where this gift is not what I wanted. You didn't buy me, and all of that don't have nothing to do with the quality of your relationship and how it goes forth. And that is another thing that men have to deal with, is if a certain gift is not present or a certain thing is not present, it'll turn you off. So you're triggered and turned on by a certain type of gift. Well, that's not what I asked for. And not because that's not what I asked for. Those conversations it's easy. You can really put another man, right? You can put your man in another bed. And I'm telling you, from a standpoint of understanding the co-pilot, right? Understanding your position as a co-pilot to a man, you have to know everything about that plane. If you don't, you could crash it, right? Because if he gets up or anything happens to him, everything has to still, this is why you so important as a wife. You have to be able to co-pilot as a woman, and a lot of women don't know how to co-pilot. They have expectation as the driver, and they already come on the plane with the backpack ready to jump just in case the parachute, and that's not having a quality relationship. And it's the same for some men. Men don't know how to drive a plane. He doesn't understand how to lead because he wasn't brought up in that atmosphere, and so his learning curve is way far. Guess why? Parental alienation. Can't see my kid. The father is this, he's named this. He was all of that. We did all of these things, and this is what shapes the men that you're dealing with. So eventually, because you might not have allowed me to raise my son, you're gonna run into every type of man that your son that you raised. So you're dating the type of man that you raise. You reap what you sow. So if you're sowing good seed in your relationships with your men and your husband, your man, you're pouring in, get out of the mindset that you're raising a man when he's 60% man. Understand that you're supposed to come to the table to help him get to 100% man. Get out of your mindset expecting that a woman who comes to the table at 60% knows that she's 100%. That's just a asinine mindset to think just because you have certain things in place that you're 100% woman. That's all lie. In a relationship, it's coming together. In life, it's the pilot and the co-pilot. Now, if you don't understand that in your relationship, you're gonna crash that plane. You're gonna crash that crib, your kids. It's nothing better than, in my opinion, my wife will say consensus, I say compromise. I use the word compromise because I know coming together is going to take giving and taking. That's why I use the word compromise. Other than that, this holiday, you should be having as much sex, cracking jokes, doing things that you want to do. Stop playing put the coochie in prison with your man, right? Take your feet out them doors and focus on the relationship that you do have, and get to know the person across, outside of them having to provide something, outside of them having to do something special to prove that they love you, right? Jump, right? I need you to jump out this window, right? And see how hard you hit the ground to show me how much you love me. And he'd be like, okay. Because nobody taught him. So this holiday, you have to enjoy sex. So Heather, I know you want to add a point or two.
Of course I do.
You know?
So one of the I think the pieces of wisdom that we can take away from today is that, and I think Dave had said this too, that there is a difference with our expectations and perceptions of what it is that stimulates him and what it is that stimulates her, and whether that really matters. First of all, it does matter. The person's feelings matter. And so we need to be a lot more open to embrace outside of our expectations and outside of the perception, because somebody looks a certain way doesn't mean that they are a certain way. And for women, we look for security, and the physical or the physicality of a man is our perception of the quality of that man. And that is not necessarily true. It is not. We want a tall man because you think you're going to be safe and supported by him, or all of those perceptions. It doesn't make it true. But that's what we have been programmed to think. That's all kinds of images in different movies and videos and all of that. The rough and tough boy you think is going to protect you. You assume that perception of protection equals protecting your heart, and it's not the same thing. And so, but part of intimacy during this holiday season has to do with safety. Being safe enough to be vulnerable, being safe enough to explore, and not thinking that somebody's going to laugh at your efforts or reject you because of your efforts.
Yeah, test before you go raw.
And that's two ways, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Creating a safe environment so everybody feels comfortable. As I was sitting there thinking, foreplay is not one way, it's both ways. So we have to, what do you say?
I said 4 ways. Four ways. That's right.
However you like doing it. But it's so important for us to recognize this. And when we communicate these things, people can have that longevity of 50 years, 18,250 days being together. And if you can be forced to have sex every day, that's only popping too. But you have to have that willingness from both parties to share that, because that's what you do. You're sharing yourself with someone else, and you have to acknowledge his feelings. She has to acknowledge her feelings, and as they do that together, I'll close on this. If I wake up saying, "Baby, what can I do for you?" and you wake up saying, "Baby, what I can do for you," what you have here is two recipients. You don't have a giver and a taker, because that's tug of war. But when people wake up saying, "How can I please you?" and vice versa, for sex is it moves away from sex, the physicality of it, to making love.
I almost lost it for a second. For real though, right? And that's everything. What you just said, David. It really is important.
Like said.
Yeah, you foreplay all day. If you can't tell her she pretty, right? And you gotta be able to take some of that foreplay. It's like, baby, I don't like that hairstyle. Maybe if you try this, it's gonna look real nice. You got to be able to do those things.
No, you
right?
don't.
Yes,
No, never tell a woman you don't like something. No, you do not.
Okay, don't say it like that.
No, you do not.
Maybe another hairstyle.
And you want some
How did
sex
I-
out of it?
how did
Don't
I?
do that.
I'm saying from my perspective in my relationship.
Like, okay, it's great to say, I'd love to see your hair look like this. But you say, I don't like your hair, and then say something behind me, she's not going to hear another thing you said.
Okay.
Can I address her? The young lady says, don't ask, just do. If we're together, you know me. Well, I'll say this. We should get to know one another.
Right.
And once we know one another, you're absolutely correct. I don't have to ask. It's like the old saying go, he finished my sentences because he knows you. And she finished mine because I know her. Right. And many times men don't know about foreplay and don't believe in it because they walk in the darkness of ignorance. But once they come to the knowledge of light about the person they're in a relationship with, then foreplay is not just the term we use. And that's the problem. We use a lot of terms with no meaning, but then it becomes meaningful to one another.
That's right.
Yeah. Of course. It's beautiful though. And this is what the holidays is about. Again, it's festive. It's a wreath. You got a mistletoe, which is a crazy word for a garment to make you kiss.
Yes.
A mistletoe, right? You like, hey.
It's a flower.
Right.
It's a combination of holly and berries.
Right. It's a whole lot of play in there, right?
I know, that's what I'm trying to.
Right.
I'm trying not to.
But during this holiday, you really should, Dave, tell them where they can reach you at.
You can miss me at mistletoe now. You can meet FMAM for Me and About Me on Facebook, and you can reach me at drome7@yahoo.com.
Dr. Heather.
You can reach me at You're Inspired with a D, you'rinspiredjourney.com. And you can also reach me by phone. So give me a call at 313-759-7855.
So for those of you that are in relationships and looking for information, Dr. Heather has a book which is Extreme, 100 Ways to Love Her. You can get that on Amazon. And then 25 Ways to Love Him. That's two different extremes. But it's there, right? And it's good information from you to learn from, right? So you can go to Amazon and get those books. and it's like $12, $10, $12 a book. Anyway, this holiday, just from the standpoint of love, right? We're just talking from the standpoint of love. Holding hands, whispering sweet nothings, a smack on the butt, high five at anything, a hug, just a regular old hug, sharing your angst. I'm really feeling this way. So sharing your vulnerability is very important in a relationship. Getting to a place that you can trust a person in your vulnerability. You got to take, I asked this question to a lot of men and women. When the last time you made love and there was no alcohol, no weed, no side effects? Right? I didn't when did that happen? Right? Because that's truly what the holidays are all about. Expressing and enjoying each other in its fullness, in its natural state. Right? It's funny because I asked that question to a couple of my brothers one time. I was like, when the last time you, well, I did it one time, you know? No, we're literally turning ourselves into issues, having issues just from using these aphrodisiacs for performance. Because what do we need? Each other. I need your words, you need my words. I need your touch, you need my touch. I need your ear, you need my ear. It's amazing what God has done that man continues to drive completely apart.
That's right.
And just to be clear,
That's right.
I've made several mistakes in relationships. One of the things I stress it, I said, I just don't want to hurt another woman. Right? And so when you get to the mindset or the skill set that you understand that you can bring to a relationship, that's where the compromise is. That's where we come together to grow. It's so important. So this holiday, literally, bust as much as possible.
Alrighty then.
That is for him and for her.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
I'll give you a song that y'all like. It's by Keith Washington. It's called "Make Time for Love."
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
If you listen to that song,
That'll do it.
that'll do it. That's a
That'll do
player.
it.
That's a player in my notebook. That's in my player book. So
It's in your player book.
just give me a call. I'll let you read it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No.
Right, because he be wide. But yeah, truly appreciate it. New book, All Ingredients Count. Get that. You can go to Amazon or you can go on my page, click the link and order, and I'll ship you one with a signature. I'm signing the first 100, so I really appreciate your support. It's a book that can inspire you, your family, and your friends. It'll help you along life's journey. All ingredients count. Essential ingredients for your life's journey. So, with that being said, my name is Dr. Calvin T. Mann, president and founder. I'm going to enjoy this Christmas.
Lots of sex.
You heard it.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Right. But more importantly, the joy of it is what this holiday is all about. So have a great Christmas. I'm sure this is not the last time we'll talk about sex because people love to talk about sex, but truthfully, it's in your head. And I'll leave it at that. Peace.
Emily, you know, it's all about